I am a type 1 diabetic. I was diagnosed at the age of 15 months old, which this year will be 50 years ago. When I decided to make a change in my career and become a sole proprietor of a store, health insurance became an issue. It turns out I was grandfathered into an old policy under my former employer, which they couldn't let me out of because I kept paying my premiums. And so I was grandfathered into that policy. That policy, however, was becoming prohibitively expensive as it was going up hundreds of dollars a month every year, and it was really squeezing me out of the market for health insurance, which I have to have to control the diabetes. I looked everywhere at that time to try and find coverage. I went to every source that I could find that was imaginable. I called the companies directly, I went through brokers, and the answer that I kept coming back to was, no, you're a type 1 diabetic. We don't have any interest in insuring you under any price. And as a result, I was stuck with this one policy that was just squeezing me out. When the Affordable Care Act came into existence, it was like a tremendous weight was lifted off my shoulder. Because at that point, insurers could no longer discriminate against me as a person with type 1 diabetes. And my insurance rates dropped tremendously. I think they dropped at the time over $800 a month. And it was a massive quality of life difference. I could stay in business and then do the job I love, and I could have health coverage. It was a massive life-changing experience.
That doesn't mean that we want to take care of the person, or should be required to take care of the person who sits home, drinks Coca-Cola, no offense, drinks sugary drinks and doesn't exercise and eats poorly and gets diabetes. If you have a right to health care as a fundamental human right, that creates a burden on someone else to provide it to you.
My concern is that if they remove protections for those of us with pre-existing conditions and I get denied insurance coverage once again, I will be forced to close my shop and look for a group coverage that will cover me despite having a pre-existing condition. And really, it's making me choose, frankly, between my health and my business. Everybody in Congress said they were going to protect people with pre-existing conditions. We as citizens relied on these to our detriment, and it's incredibly frightening for him to renege on these promises and now make decisions on the Affordable Care Act that have done nothing but raise premiums and squeeze those of us who have conditions as hard as he possibly can squeeze. It's unconscionable, it's unfair, and it's hurting thousands of people.